problems to air traffic control, and he did not declare an emergency.
New details about a deadly jet crash. We hear from the couple who lives in the home destroyed in the crash.
The support and the show of support has been so amazing.
Yesterday's plane crash was not the first time tragedy has struck this neighborhood. Concerns about living under the flight path.
Since yesterday's plane crash, the Humane Society has taken in more animals. I'll have an update as well as a reunion.
A South Bay student support aide is accused of having sex with a teen. She faces a judge for the first time.
Here we go.
Proving every student matters every day. We honor Mrs. Davies as our classroom hero.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
Our mission here is to gather the facts and evidence associated with this accident to determine a probable cause and make any necessary recommendations to improve aviation safety.
Right now, NTSB investigators are still processing the scene of a deadly small jet crash in Tierra Santa. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Shanna Handy in tonight for Marcella Lee. Investigators said today everyone who was on board the jet died in the crash. We are still waiting to hear from the San Diego County Medical Examiner for an exact number of deaths, but the FAA did say yesterday it's believed 6 people were inside the aircraft when it crashed.
The NTSB also revealed today that the weather alert system and approach lights at Montgomery Field were not working as the plane approached the airport. Investigators say it clipped high-tension power lines before going down. They note the aircraft did not have a flight data recorder.
We are trying to determine at this time if the airplane was equipped with a cockpit voice recorder. We have maintenance records that indicate that there may have been one installed in the past, but we will not know for certain until we complete our wreckage examination.
NTSB teams will soon start to clear the wreckage from the neighborhood, which is expected to take a few days. And we're learning more about the people who are on board that flight.
CBS 8's David Govertson has also been investigating the final approach of the aircraft before it crashed.
I want to offer my sincerest condolences to the family and friends and those who are affected by this accident.
Some of the victims on board the Cessna that crashed yesterday in Tierra Santa have now been named. The mother of 25-year-old Emma Huke posted a message on her Instagram saying, "Our beloved daughter Emma was on the plane that crashed in San Diego yesterday. She was traveling with her boss and co-worker and a few others back from a show at Madison Square Garden for a band they represent. Rest in peace, beautiful Emmy." 42-year-old Dave Shapiro is the registered owner of the plane and a certified pilot. The music executive co-founded Sound Talent Group, which did not respond to a request for comment. Also on the plane and believed to be dead, Daniel Williams, a former drummer for the metalcore band The Devil Wears Prada.
The pilot did not report any problems to air traffic control, and he did not declare an emergency.
During a news briefing this afternoon, NTSB investigator Dan Baker said the weather notification system was not working at Montgomery Field when the pilot was making an approach around 3:45 a.m. on Thursday. Additionally, the approach lights at the runway that a pilot is supposed to be able to activate remotely have not been working at Montgomery Field since October, according to public records.
There were notices to the airmen stating that there was airport lighting that was out that would have affected the illumination of the runway.
Conditions were foggy that night, perhaps with less than a half-mile visibility. The NTSB confirms the pilot did try to activate the approach lights as he descended by keying his radio microphone several times.
All right, that doesn't sound great, but we'll give it a go.
That's when the plane hit power lines about 2 miles away from the runway and crashed into the Murphy Canyon Military Housing Complex in Tierra Santa. The NTSB says the preliminary report should be out in a couple weeks. The final report could take up to 2 years. In Tierra Santa, David Govertson, CBS 8.
I think when you go to bed at night and we would always say, like, make sure the doors are locked, the bars over the sliding glass, alarm set, and you would think, like, that's good, like, you're safe there, right? And then you're in your home and you're safe, and then you have, like, a plane come crashing through your house.
You're hearing from the couple who live in the home that was heavily damaged in that crash. Benjamin and Shrjana McCarty have lived there for more than 2 years. They tell us a loud explosion woke them up.
walked into the hallway to see if we could go out the front door, but the living room looked like, this is the only way I could describe it, in like movies where they show like a meteor hit and you see the debris everywhere still burning and burning holes through the ground. That's what my living room looked like.
The McCartys grabbed their 2 kids and pets and were able to get to safety by climbing over a backyard fence with some help from their neighbors. They were not hurt and say they are grateful for all of the support they've received so far. A little bit of good news for them today. We learned they've been relocated to another fully furnished unit. And people who live under the flight paths say there are too many planes going overhead, and this isn't the first time that one has crashed into that area. CBS 8's Brian White will share their concerns in our next half hour.
Dozens of animals were displaced by yesterday's crash. They were taken in by the Humane Society. Today, I was there for one of the reunions. Freya and Floki could not contain their excitement this morning after being reunited with their family.
These are my children. These dogs are my children.
They're among more than 36 pets rescued by the Humane Society following yesterday's plane crash.
I can grab this guy from you.
Some ran off because they were scared. Others were left behind because their owners had to evacuate so quickly. Freya and Floki were taken in because their family needed help as they figured out where to go.
A lot of places don't accept animals, so that definitely wasn't like something I had to worry about where my kids were going to be living out on the streets because we had 2 dogs and nowhere to go. No family on this side of the country.
And it's not just dogs and cats. The Humane Society also rescued 5 geckos as well as a 20-gallon fish tank.
We'll always help if it's needed. We'll always be there for animals and the people who love them.
CBS 8 was there Thursday as Humane Society officers sprung into action. A lot of the animals had to be washed because they were covered in jet fuel. Well, a few reunions have happened since then. The Humane Society will house the remaining animals for as long as needed, even though they're well over capacity.
We're certainly struggling right now. We're over capacity. We have nearly 1,800 pets in our care. 700 of them are available for adoption, ready to find loving homes. But yes, anytime a disaster strikes, we're going to be there.
Spokesperson Nina Thompson says the public can help by making a donation or adopting a pet. And our coverage of this small jet crash continues online. You can get the very latest on CBS8.com or follow us on social media. You can also watch all of our coverage on our free streaming channel, CBS 8 Plus. Just download on your TV and watch for free.
The South Bay student support aide accused of sexual acts with a teen pleaded not guilty today. Earlier this week, sheriff's deputies arrested 31-year-old Lisette Ortega-Velez at Mar Vista High School.
CBS 8's Abby Black was in the courtroom today and explains the string of charges in this case.
Lisette Ortega-Velez did not say a word in court, but she did look over at her family as the judge listed those felony charges involving sexual misconduct with a student. Now, there's very limited information since this involves a minor, but here's what we know. The judge ordered us to stylize her face. The 31-year-old student support aide at Mar Vista High School pleaded not guilty to 5 felony counts for allegedly having sex with a 17-year-old male student and other sex acts, arranging meetups with the intent to have sexual encounters and trying to keep the teen from reporting it. The deputy DA says that it was the student who came forward and reported the alleged sexual relationship. Now, if convicted, Velez faces 5 years in prison. Court records show the sexual allegations happened this year, starting around April 1st and ending this week. Details if she was an aide to the student or if the victim was in her class, if the misconduct happened on or off campus, were not released. The Sweetwater Union High School District says that they are committed to providing the necessary support to its community during this time. The deputy DA says that Velez communicated with the teen via phone, so if she posts the $250,000 bail, her phone can be searched without a warrant. The court also issued protective orders, keeping her away from any school with minors.
At the time of the arrest, an emergency protective order was put into place. Today, the court placed a criminal protective order in place as well, and then there's the addition of the stay-away order from any schools where minors are present.
The stay-away order has an exception. The public defender mentioned that she has a child, so she will be allowed to drop off and pick up her child from school, but no other kids can be involved and no play dates with other children. Her family did not comment. She is scheduled to be back in court on June 3rd. Now, it's important to note that she was contracted with RO Healthcare. I did reach out to them for a comment about this case, and the CEO tells me that they're doing their own internal investigation. I asked about background checks. They say that they do conduct thorough background checks, including FBI fingerprint clearance. Reporting in Chula Vista, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Thank you, Abby. The intersection of La Media and Airway Roads is back open in Otay Mesa tonight. A $60 million improvement project at that intersection took more than 2 years to complete. The finished product includes expanded lanes, raised intersections to prevent flooding, and a smoother traffic flow for the thousands of commercial trucks expected to pass through that cross-border corridor. A surprise announcement from a beloved music icon. That's still ahead.
Plus, our first look at a massive illegal fireworks bust here in Southern California.
And we are approaching Memorial Day weekend. Now, as we get the weekend started, temperatures are actually going to back away from the recent heat that we have felt. We're going to be near seasonal, even slightly below all the way into next week. I'll have all the details coming up.